Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema has won a second term in office. The incumbent took around 60% of the vote. International observers say that the vote was largely peaceful, but raised concerns about intimidation and restrictions on the opposition. Hichilema entered the race as the clear favorite after steering Zambia through a major economic turnaround and restructuring its debt. Supporters of his UPND party poured into the streets of the capital after the results were announced. He will be sworn into office in about 2 weeks since the results are ratified. Now, his main challenger, Brian Mundubile, won around 38%. His party says that he is now in a secure location under the protection of an international human rights organization because of threats against him. Several opposition figures arrested last week remain in custody. DW's Kathy Shortbright joins us now from the Zambian capital. So Hichilema, has won pretty comfortably. Is that mainly a vote of confidence in him, or was the opposition also fighting with one hand tied behind their back?
The opposition did put up a good fight during the elections. I think most observers and analysts did not expect them to perform as well as they did. And it was Hichilema's team also performed very, very well. And this is despite the fact that there was a bit of voter apathy during the elections. So in terms of support, he has supporters, a lot of support in his base as the incumbent, and also the aspect of being an incumbent and also having access to state resources put him at an advantage as a candidate in this election.
Observers are saying that the vote itself was largely peaceful, but they also talk about intimidation and restrictions on the opposition. What did you actually see on the ground?
On the day of voting, I was in the field reporting for DW, and I did see the peacefulness and also the orderliness during the voting process itself. But immediately after that, we had reports of marked ballot papers going missing and also being thrown in drainages, and also reports of violence in some parts of the country, which led to a 6-hour suspension of counting and announcement of election results by the Electoral Commission, a move which caused a lot of anxiety and disagreements amongst the electoral stakeholders.
The main opposition candidate, Brian Mundubile's party, says that he is now in a secure location because of threats against him, and several opposition figures are still in custody. How serious is the situation?
It is very serious. On Saturday evening, I was called by one of his lawyers as a reporter for DW to just give me some information just about the time that situation was unfolding at Mundubile's house. Several people are reported missing. Mutotwe Kafwaya, the former lawmaker, the husband to Edgar Lungu's daughter, Tasila Lungu, is also reportedly missing, and a few other people are still missing, but others are reportedly in police custody because of what the government terms as aspects of militia training and also high-grade military equipment, which they allege was found at the venue of the opposition leader, and also that they picked up the suspects who are in custody. And I must say that most of these suspects have not had their families or even lawyers have access to them until maybe a day or so ago after being held in police custody.
Zambia has a reputation for peaceful elections and transfers of power. To what extent has this election damaged that reputation?
Yeah, that reputation has really been damaged. For us as reporters, we've been seeing this unfolding the past 4 years, to an extent where even us as reporters have been called to be told that we are not reporting the truth because we have been reporting the actual things that have been happening. So we have received reports, queries as well on the ground reporting. So we've seen this unfolding, and it's not a surprise to some of us because it's been going on now for some time. And also we have seen even our colleagues in the public media not being able to even cover opposition or dissenting views in the past 4 years. We have not also had, in terms of the past 4 years, protests by opposing views. So yes, Zambia's reputation as a stable democracy is really being tested. And Hichilema's second term really has a big role to play in terms of ensuring that fundamental freedoms and rights are protected for all Zambians instead of just those that support him, and also to unite the country, which seems to be polarized and also very, very divided along tribal lines.
DW's Kathy Shortbright joining us from the Zambian capital, Lusaka. Thank you so much.